It was him.
I wonder if bears like barbecue.
I'm just about to doze off, and I think I'm one of the heavier sleepers out of the bunch when it comes to sleeping in the woods. We all suck at sleeping in the woods, but
we're not good.
Not great. So usually, like, I'm used to Brad, like, ruffling around. You know, he hears things and is, you know, he'll flick a light on and check it. Same with Neil. Neil usually he'll check it with a light or something. We had been on multiple trips, and they've done this same exact thing on several trips before. Yeah. So to me, like, when he said, you know, I think I hear something, I'm like, whatever, I'm zoning out, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. So I heard something at first, and I looked over. I didn't see anything. Classic city slickers sleeping in the woods. Like, you hear a twig from a squirrel, and, you know, a cougar's coming to get you.
It's pitch black, by the way. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever slept outside, but at night in the woods, it's dark, where you can't see your face, or you can't see your hand in front of your face. It
was dark. So I thought I heard something, shined over, didn't hear anything, or didn't see anything. So then Neil, a couple seconds later, Neil thinks he hears something. And at that time, I also heard something else. So we both look over, and I'm shining. I can't see anything.
I remember distinctly I did not have my flashlight out. I remember, because the way I was sleeping in my hammock was like this. So I'm facing this way, and I hear a noise, like, over here. And I'm like, oh, it was probably just a squirrel or whatever. And I remember looking, and out of the darkness, I could see something that was darker than the darkness, which just sounded scary, me even saying that. But, dude, it was moving, and I could see its shape kind of going up the hill. But I remember sitting there watching it go up, and I was like, that is something. Like, that is something alive, and it's bigger than me. And I remember saying to Brad, I was like, dude, that's a bear. And Brad, you flicked your light on at that point, didn't you?
I was shining that whole time, and I couldn't see anything. And I actually never did see it. And I think finally you definitely got, like, solid eyes.
Oh, I had visual eye contact.
And I kept shining. I couldn't see anything. And this whole time, like, Trav finally perked up at that point.
Wait, who shined the light on the bear?
I didn't.
You had a light,
near the end. Not at first.
Because I caught a sight of the bear.
Not at first. I remember seeing its black outline, and I was like, that's a bear. But I didn't shine it at first. But remember, as it was going up the hill...
I never caught it. I kept trying to find it, and you kept saying you were seeing it. I never saw
Travis, you saw it, though, didn't you?
So once Neil said, oh, it's a bear, I thought, oh, shit. Like, that you've definitely made positive contact. It's a bear. So at this point, I pop up, lean up out of my hammock, and I see the bear. And at that point, we had known it was bear country. We'd been there before. So Brad and I both had handguns.
So where I was storing mine was in my hammock. There's a little, like, pouch that it all tucks into, hangs off the side. So I just kept mine in there, thinking that, you know, I'd get to it quickly. Fun fact, I couldn't find that spot.
I just had mine. I had it in a holster, but it was just loosey-goosey in my hammock. So I'm fiddling around. It's like on my back hip or something. I'm trying to find it, and I can't find it. Like, I know it's somewhere, but I can't. By the time I get it and rack around, the scariest part about the incident is the bear didn't run. It literally didn't look at us from when we had the light on. It didn't look at us. It just walked up a hill this steep, calmly as ever.
Yeah. I've never seen anything quite like it. It was a physical specimen.
So obviously at that point, we turn into Call of Duty mode. Everyone watches each other's back, and we start packing up camp like...
It was ridiculous. So we packed everything up in the dark, and then got into our canoes and went to Uncle Dean's house.
Well, and on the way down, we kind of were having issues finding Uncle Dean's because
the bear was throwing rocks into the river too to scare us away. Let's not forget
about that.
So, like, because of prior experience on the river again, when you put your headlamps up on some of these spots, bats swoop at the light. So that's terrifying to have a bat fly at your face when you're oaring down the river. So we were kind of going completely by starlight, and all we see and hear, well, actually we don't see much, all we hear are what sound like, I would say, basketball-sized boulders rolling off into the stream, the river next to us, on the bear side.
As we're going
where
down
the bear was at, too. It wasn't on the other side.
Yeah.
It was on the side where the bear was. So
and there's only loose rocks on the bank. Like, there's no loose rocks up on the hill. It's just on the bank. So if there was something pushing off huge boulders, it would have had to been right on the bank of the river.
Did we ever figure out what that was?
No. To this day, we don't know. And it wasn't... We all heard it.
Dude, it could have been muskrats. I don't know
No,
what it
it
was.
was so
big
many.
rocks,
There were
though.
so many. Like, I'm saying 3 to 5 rocks, boulders
Big
fell
ones,
off
too,
big. That it's just
We didn't
kind
see
of
that they were
curious.
boulders. We didn't see that they were boulders.
What are
It
they?
sounded like
hear it,
boulders.
though. You can...
The only real explanation is that we were tracked by either a bear or Bigfoot. So
Either
we'll let
way,
you guys make the assumption.
yeah.
there.
So we make our way to Dean's. We can't get Dean awake. So we start planning out putting down a tarp in his front yard and sleeping with essentially the bears anyways in his front yard.
He told us a story about, like, pretty recently him finding a bear
That had
like,
mange.
in his yard.
Yeah.
They take his bird feeder feed, open up the box of the bird feeder, take the bird seed out, and then set the bird box down.
Yeah.
So
They're polite bears.
Please, sir, I want some more.
They're polite bears, but that was a full bear because it just had fed. This one was obviously hungry. And the bird feeder box is like right by us.
Our only option was to sleep in Dean's front yard. So finally Dean woke up.
We got to sleep with Penny and Nickel, which are Uncle Dean's 2 Weimaraners.
they're great.
And the other one's a
Vizsla. Yeah.
Vizsla. And they are the greatest dogs on earth.
As we were finishing up, as we were docking on the second day,
The dog.
Ew.
we were right about at the end.
Docking?
And Trav and I were in a canoe, Neil's in a kayak.
Near the end isn't even a great way to describe. I mean, like, we were right there. Like, we were just about to get off of one of those.
Yeah. Like 100 yards? I'd say that's probably
Yeah, I would say
100 yards from the boat ramp. And
No, time out. I want to know what's going through your mind.
Okay,
Like,
at
what-
this point,
Yeah.
so I have a kayak, and this thing it's nimble. Like, I can pick up some serious speed quick.
Okay.
And at this point, I don't know what they had said to me, but they had said something. There was like some inside joke that they had because they were in the boat together that they were directing.
This is so
they were
false.
directing at me. So I had this little pent up like, I wonder if there's a way I can get them back somehow. And I remember just picking up a little, like just looking at their canoe and thinking, they look unstable. Like just the way that they were situated, the cooler was in a weird spot in the canoe. And I had enough distance between me where I was like, if I pick up enough speed, I'll just scare them. Like I'll start going towards them and I'll just give them a scare. They might flinch a little bit and then they'll push me away with their oars. So I start going at them and I'm working up speed and I see Travis is not really paying attention. And then Brad just looks over at me and goes, "Oh, Neil's coming." And then Travis, instead of like trying to direct me out, dude,
I want to
Listen.
hear Brad's part because there's
Listen.
a reason why this.
So Neil's about to hit. He's like almost gonna hit us, and I tried, like he thought we were gonna do. I tried to jam him with my oar to move him, except I pushed him to the direct center of the boat. So he hit us, just T-boned us perfectly.
I dropped my paddle, grabbed the boat,
Yes.
just thinking I'm gonna hold it.
But you did kind of get up a little bit.
You
He like got up. He was like
Travis
at like
good
this
jump.
level on the on a canoe. So he was at that level, and I was adjusting to like counterweight, like counter to level us out.
He literally bucked me off the canoe.
I threw him off of the canoe with my shape shift,
Phone, fishing, I had everything on me.
but everything else stayed in the canoe.
The canoe didn't flip, but now I am underwater, wondering what just happened because I'm like, he hit, and the boat contact isn't what knocked me over. It was Brad's readjustment
Now,
of the boat.
To be fair, in my defense, the boat was so close to taking on water. It was
He
like,
says this.
I'm telling you, I looked
This
at the
is
water
crazy.
level, water was here, boat was here, dude. And here, okay? Just so you guys know, like, they were level. And I ripped it the other way and just threw his out of the boat.
We're in the middle of the river, so I have to swim through this river there's seaweed that's like this tall, and I have to like kick through it because I can't reach the bottom, and it feels disgusting on my legs. And this animal is just hackling the whole time, no remorse at all.
The only reason I was hackling those because instead of Travis kicking into a normal backstroke like a normal American swimmer, he was doggy paddling, which made it.
The seaweed
Looking
was
at his
screwed.
face like this with his chin just above the water and his two little front hands coming out of the water paddling it, that made it so satisfying.
And I also had to have my phone like this, so I'm doggy paddling with one arm with my phone out, shaking water out of the speaker holes. And it wasn't even him. It was him.
It was because of him, though.
Still to this day, I thought it was me. So the noise it made was so beautiful too. The thud, just and just seeing Travis out of the boat and in the water.
I saved all of the I saved it all because we wouldn't have gotten it back, you know? It would have been at the bottom.
Sure. Anyways, that's one of the stories. We've got many of them. This is, I hope you liked it.
Always leave the land like you left it.
Leave the land like you left it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And see ya.
Peace.